There is a new trend taking over the internet right now, and media outlets are calling it the solution to making friends as adults. I want to give you the full picture because there is a lot more to this story than what the headlines are telling you. Some of this solution, it's genuinely good. So first, what is this? Well, the term is soft socializing. And it was coined by Eventbrite in their 2026 social study. Eventbrite, the place where you buy tickets to random events in your town, they put on a full research study based off what they're seeing popular on their site, and soft socializing was one of the trends. So, soft socializing, the idea is simple. It's doing things together without social pressure. Think floral arranging classes, puzzle competitions, quiz nights at the pub or the bar, even silent reading clubs. Yes, that's a thing, a silent reading club. Basically, it's things where the activity is the main event and socializing is a byproduct and you choose how much you do of it. Now, honestly, back in the day, we would have just called this classes and competitions, but they've put them all into this group. And the group itself, I get. One of the issues though is a lot of articles that came out after this report was made started taking the concept and putting it to things like personal gatherings and activities. So you having friends over for a cooking night or you having a game night at your house. Really, they started using it so loosely that it just became the idea of hanging out. And let me just tell you, when Real Simple, I'll put it here if I can, when Real Simple made a post on this on Instagram using it in this context, woo, the millennials came out in the comments and were like, why are we labeling everything? This is just hanging out. Like, why does this have a name? I totally agree. I'm thinking of doing a whole other episode on hanging out. So I want to be clear that today, the way we are going to talk about it is the way Eventbrite actually meant it, as something that's like a community event, an event hosted by a formalized group, not a friend inviting people over. So something that a restaurant in town decides to hold, or a bar decides to hold a quiz night, that sort of a thing. Or maybe an entrepreneur has a gathering of some kind. And we're gonna talk about it in that form because even in its formalized original form, there's a lot worth unpacking. So first, let's talk about the good. And there is genuine good here. If you have ever moved to a new city where you don't know anyone, you know how isolating it can be. And soft social events are actually a really nice antidote to that because you know going in that you will be around people, there will be something to do, and nobody expects you to be like on your social working the room kind of game all night long. That alone takes a lot of pressure off. Oh, we're gonna have this activity, that gives a good starting point. And I myself did this before, obviously before this was a term, but when I first moved to Arizona and I didn't know that many people, I did things like taking classes at night to hopefully meet people. So one of those was I took a cooking class at Sur la Table. Sur la Table? Sur la Table. How do you say it? If you say Sur la Table, we gotta talk. I decided to take a Korean cooking class at Sur la Table. And those classes are great because they put you in groups of people to work together to make this meal. And the table I was at, there were 3 other girls that came by themselves, and then there were 2 women that came as friends. And so we chopped and sauteed and diced and shared a meal together. And majority of our time was focused on the work we were doing. But even that, to be able to look at somebody and be like, oh, can you chop the onions? Or, oh, I'd be happy to sear the meat, or, oh my gosh, this looks like it's gonna be so good. Those little moments of connection when you have been feeling isolated, just that is nice. But did I also sit there and like ask people some questions and go, so how'd you hear about this? So have you taken one of these classes before? Yes, I did. Now, was I the only one leading in that? Yeah. But it was helpful that like I could gauge the room and go, okay, if that girl doesn't want to talk, we don't have to talk. But at least gave the opportunity to get some conversation started. And for a night, I didn't have to feel so alone. And then I kind of already mentioned it. The other thing I love about these is that they give you a natural conversation starter. And as someone who speaks on networking and has been to many a networking event, I know firsthand how genuinely hard it is to start a conversation from nothing. So going to an event where there's an activity is always going to help. In fact, I've always said this, that like it's better to go to the workshop where there's a little bit of networking time at the beginning than just the general mixer. Even for an association, if you are thinking of joining an association, going to the association happy hour is going to be so much harder to break in than going to the association meeting where there's somebody who's a speaker, but there's like 30 minutes of chatting because you have something to talk about. Have you heard this speaker before? What made you choose to come to this event today? So same with these events. Oh, have you ever taken a class here before? Or like I said, at the cooking class, oh, do you like to cook a lot? Or have you done any Korean cooking before? Or what's your favorite thing to cook? There is a natural place to start conversation from instead of just, so what do you do? So what are you working on that's exciting? Like, I can give you those tips and tricks on how to start a conversation from nothing, but going to something where you have an opportunity to just dive right in on a topic is gonna make it easier. So that's a great part of soft socializing. And then the last thing I think is really great about it is I will fully admit that the shared activity does the heavy lifting for you. It does take a lot of the pressure off. We're not going to say it's pressure free. I'll get to that in a minute, but it does take a lot of the pressure off and it's a more relaxing environment to be in. And I actually saw this firsthand back in December. I was back in December in the midst of all the holiday chaos and holiday parties. An association here in town, Wise Arizona, Women in Sports and Events, they decided instead of holding like a cocktail party kind of thing that everybody else does at the holidays, they did a vision board and cookie exchange. So everybody came with cookies to do the cookie exchange and they had tons of magazines and tons of vision board books and everyone got a poster board and I got to take a couple of hours and sit at a table with 6, 7 other women and we would cut out magazines, cut and paste and munch on some cookies and we got to talk to each other about what we're hoping for the year ahead and what happened this year. It actually helped conversation go deeper, but also you could just sit there and work on your board a little bit and it gave us something to start from, but it was relaxing. I didn't have to be thinking about like, okay, I've been talking to this person a long time. Let me go move over there and work the room and talk to that person. And as I drove away, I realized, wow, that was really refreshing. Oh, also like I didn't have to dress up for it, right? People came after work, people came casually. It was just nice and simple, but that shared activity kind of made it a much more relaxed feeling. So, a lot of benefit to having an activity at these events. And so I will say, for those of you who are team leaders or in HR, or you're listening to this and going like, what does this have to do with my workplace? I think this is a really good, clear indicator that giving an activity for people to come around is going to be better than having just a networking event, a general come chat with people event, any sort of general mixer. Give people an activity. I would say too, as much as I just said something with a speaker is good, this too is showing something where there's an activity where people can participate is going to be even stronger than something where they just listen. People want experience. So build in a shared activity, put people in small groups together to work on that activity, and then let the conversation and participation happen. So soft socializing is a genuinely good starting point, both in our personal lives to make friends and for those in corporations and businesses. I think you can use it too.